Welcome. Today we are going to see another very interesting topic, that is foreign entities to open branch office, liaison office and project office in India. This is very useful to everyone. Almost all the parties of foreign from foreign entities, they want to open their branches. So what are the rules and regulations that FEMA says that we are going to see today? And before going to the presentation, I want to say one thing. And the views expressed by me here is my views only. For clear understanding of the matters discussed, I request the viewers please go through FEMA 1999. I am not responsible for any wrong interpretation. With this disclaimer, I am presenting the subject for your easy understanding. And if you have got any doubt or clarification, or if you want to give any suggestion or feedback, you are welcome, and you can send your questions to 770-840-4440. So let me start the presentation now. FEMA is a regulator for the foreign entity to open branch office, liaison office, or project office in India or any other place in India, and it is regulated in terms of FEMA section as per section 6, subsection 6 of FEMA. And FEMA contains the provisions to prohibit, restrict and regulate establishments in India of a branch or office or other place of business by a person resident outside India, and to open branch office, that is liaison office or project office in India. What is meant by branch office? That we will see, because foreign entities, they can open branch office. So it means an establishment described as such by the company. It is clearly stated in regulation 2D of FEM, establishment in India of branch office, of liaison office or project office or any other place of business, regulation of 2016. So any establishment as described such by the company. What is meant by liaison office? It means a place of business to act as a channel of communication between principal place of business or head office by whatever name called and entities in India, but which does not undertaken any commercial, trading, industrial activity directly or indirectly and maintains itself out of any inward remittances received from abroad through normal banking channel. And it is covered by the regulation 2E of FEM. What is meant by project office? It means a place of business to represent the interests of the foreign company executing a project in India, but it excludes the liaison office. So this is very much important. It excludes the liaison office. This is covered by the regulation 2F of FEM. And what is meant by site office? So these are the important things that you should know. Means a sub office or project office established at the site of a project, but does not include the liaison office. This is covered by regulation 2G of FEM. And now we are going to see what are the rules to open the branch office in India by the foreign entities. So normally all these are covered by the authorized dealer category bank category number 1, and they are authorized to grant the approval. Either they can grant the approval on their own, or they can get the approval after grant the approval after getting the RBI concurrence. And the application has to be submitted by the corporate incorporated outside India, including a firm or other association of individuals, to establish branch office, liaison office or project office in India to authorized dealer 1 category as per the guidelines given by RBI. So the application has to be submitted to the authorized dealer 1, that is category 1. And now RBI permission is not required to open branch office or liaison office in India for the following cases. That is, banking company which has already obtained approval. For that, no specific permission is required. Insurance company which has obtained approval. And in special economic zone where FDI is permitted, foreign direct investment is permitted, RBI approval is required. For these 3 things, RBI approval is not required because they will get the approval directly from Banking Regulation Act, Insurance, IRDA and special economic zone. But RBI approval is required to open branch office, liaison office or project office in India for the following cases. That is, person resident outside India, he can apply to the authorized dealer category 1 to open the branch office, liaison office or project office in India. Person resident outside India is permitted to open. And authorized dealer has to, on the receipt of the application, he has to forward the application to RBI for its approval. That is, sometimes authorized dealer, they can give directly the approval, but for the application is received from the citizen of a registered or incorporated in India, Pakistan, and the applicant is a citizen of or is registered or incorporated in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Iran, China, Hong Kong, or Mecca, and the application is for the opening of branch office, liaison office, or project office in Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast region, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. For this, RBI approval is a must one. The authorized dealer, he has to send the application to the RBI for its approval. Then place of business falls in the 4 sectors. There are some restricted sectors in which the foreign entity is not allowed to open the branch office, liaison office, or project office, but only after getting RBI approval it can open. That is, those sectors are defense, telecom, private security, and information and broadcasting. Prior approval is not required in case already permission is granted to open by the concerned ministry. Suppose if the applicant has already got the concurrence or confirmation from the Defense Ministry, Telecom Ministry, Private Security Ministry, and INB, and no specific approval of RBI is required. So the applicant, if a non-profit organization or non-vested organization, non-government organization, body, agency, department of a foreign corporate, permission is not required when these persons are obtained the certificate under FCRA. Now, yes, the Indian government is going to allow the foreign entity to open the branch office, liaison office, project office, but they should be financially sound. What is meant by financially soundness as per the FEMA? Non-resident entity should be financially sound. That is, for branch office, it should be a profit making during the immediately preceding 5 years in the home country, and in its net worth of not less than $1 lakh or its equivalent. In case of liaison office, same thing. The profit should be a profit making foreign entity, and it should be for immediately for 3 years. It should be a profit making entity at their home country, and its net worth is not less than $50,000 or its equivalent. Not financially sound. If the parent company is sound, then branch office or a liaison office can be opened, can be allowed to be opened in India. Letter of approval validity. Now, the approval is given by the authorized dealers, category 1. And what is the letter of approval? Normally, letter of approval validity of the liaison office is for 3 years for all cases. That is, except NBFC and those entities engaged in construction and development sector, the validity for the LO, that is liaison office, is 2 years. And validity of project office or the tenure is for the tenure of the project. So the project is for 3 years or 4 years, that is the validity of the project office. In project office in India, general permission is given. What are the conditions? Non-resident companies, they can establish project office in India, secured a contract from an Indian company to execute a project in India, must have fulfilled all the necessary calculations, necessary regulatory clearances. And project office funded directly from inward remittances from abroad. That means it should not avail any loan in India to start the project office. So funded by a bilateral or multilateral international financing agency or Indian contract company to avail loan from a foreign investors or bank for the project. So for this, general permission is given. Anybody can come to India and they can open project office. And the authorized dealer has to inform the Reserve Bank of India about setting up of the project office. The applicant has to get the permission from the authorized dealer to start this liaison office or project office. Then applicant has to inform what is the date of commencement to the authorized dealer, and authorized dealer in turn he has to inform to Reserve Bank of India. And on receipt of this, Reserve Bank of India, it will give its approval. In case the applicant has surrendered, no, I don't need any of this, though I want to surrender this, or has not commenced the business, has not commenced the branch office, and authorized dealer has to inform the same to RBI, and from then RBI is in a position to take the decision. What is the time limit for the expiry of the approval? Yes, approval is given. Time limit to open. So from the date of sanction, from the date of approval, within 6 months, branch office, license office, or project office has to be opened. And if they are not able to open, that is, if it is not open to or not able to open by non-resident entry, further extension may be considered only after getting the prior permission from Reserve Bank of India. And anybody can also make direct application to foreign bank. What are the companies? That is, application can be directly made to RBI, IRDA by the foreign bank or insurance company. And to open branch office, license office, or project office, and no unique identity, UIN is not required. No, it's not required for such representative office because they've already obtained permission from the separate ministry. And branch office at special economic zone, general permission. So very, very important because a lot of foreign entities, they want to come and open the branch office, license office, or project office in India. That too, if they want to open in SEZ, that there is special economic zone, there is non-resident companies. If they want to open, what are the conditions? That is, the branch office should function with 100% FDI. FDI means foreign direct investment. And such branch office comply with Chapter 12 of Companies Act of 2013. Such branch office function on standalone basis. And winding up a branch office, if they want to wind up, they have to approach the authorized dealers with the documents. And here, standalone means branch function the role only in SEZ, and no outside business activity or transaction is allowed. So then only general permission will be given. And account to be opened. Now they want to open the account towards the remittances received from HO by the liaison office. So authorized again, once again, the authorized has to be approached because they are the person, they have to open the account. And liaison office need not, that is not to maintain more than one bank account. So that means they have to open only one bank account and no further second account has to be opened. If at all they want to open the second account, they have to close the original account, then only permission will be given to open another account. For that, you have to get the RBI permission. If they want to open any additional business, additional bank account, then they have to get the permission from RBI. Then they are permitted to open another account. And what are the permitted credits? So now you have opened the bank account. What are the permitted credits? Permitted credits are funds received from head office. Funds received from head office through normal banking channel to meet the expenses of the office. And to meet that, you can receive the fund from head office, and refund of security deposits paid from liaison office account or directly by the head office, and refund of taxes, duties, etc. received from tax. These are the permitted credits into the account that is opened by the liaison office with the authorized dealer. And the sale process of assets. If there is any sale process, then that has to be given credit to the account. And what are the permitted debits? Only the expenses and no other things. That is the thing. That is only for meeting the local expenses office. The debits are allowed in the account opened by the liaison office. Now, open a branch office in India. What is the rules and regulations that you have to follow? Again, once again, they have to make the application to authorized dealer category 1 bank to open the account. So now they want to open the bank account with for the branch office. Then credit permitted. What are the credits permitted? Again, funds received from HO through normal banking channel and other legitimate receivables arising in the process of its banking operations. And what are the debits allowed incurred by the branch office and towards remittances of profit or winding up of the proceeds. Now, any foreign entity who has got the contract or project from government, now project office, they want to open the account. So any foreign entity who has got a contract or project from government, here they have to get the contract. And then only they are permitted to open the bank account in India without prior approval of India. So that means the project work has to be submitted to the authorized dealer. Then entity from Pakistan is allowed to open bank account only with the prior approval of the. So even this is a clear indication that even entity from Pakistan also they are allowed to open the transaction in India, but when they want to open the bank account, they have to get the prior permission of the RBI. Project office in India to open non-interest bearing foreign currency account. That is, authorized to open non-interest bearing foreign currency account with the following conditions. That is, project office in India to have the requisite approval. So project sanctioning approval should be there. And a contract for the project should be specifically provides the payment of foreign currency. And each project office is permitted to open two foreign currency account, one in US dollar and another one in that country's home currency. So they can have two bank account, two foreign currency account to transact the business. And permitted debit is the payment related to the project expenditure is permitted, and permitted credit is funds received from abroad or received for the project sanctioning authority, and remittances from parent or group companies abroad, and bilateral or multilateral international. It is very, very simple. The credit has to come from abroad to the account because it's a foreign entity which is going to open the account here. So credit has to come from abroad, and the debit is towards the expenditure, debit is towards the project cost. They can make the expenditure. And permitted debits and credits are under the direct supervision of authorized dealer, because it is the responsibility of the authorized dealer to have the direct supervision, and which is subject to the concurrent auditor of, which is subject to verification by the concurrent auditor of authorized dealer bank. So this is also another professional opportunity available to the chartered accountant. That is a concurrent auditor who is doing authorized, AD bank audit. He has to verify whether the permitted debits or credit are in satisfaction as per the FEMA. And foreign currency account has to be closed on completion of the project. On the completion of the project, foreign currency account has to be closed. This is the annual activity certificate. This is a certificate which has to be filed by the foreign entity when they open the branch office, liaison office, or project office. As at the every 31st March, they have to submit AAC. That is annual activity certificate. AAC has to be submitted to AAC. They have to submit it to Orthographic Category Bank as well as Director General of Income Tax, International Taxation, New Delhi, for liaison office or branch office. Then AAC for project office has to be submitted only to bank. So liaison office, branch office, the AAC has to be submitted to both AD and income tax. For project office, it has to be submitted only to the authorized dealer. So authorized dealer category bank, they have to scrutinize the AAC, and in case if they find any adverse thing in the report, then they have to inform the general manager, Reserve Bank of India, RBI, Company Cell, and New Delhi, along with a copy of AAC and their comment, because they authorized because the foreign entity has to submit the AAC to the authorized dealer, he has to scrutinize, and if there is any adverse thing, they have to report to RBI. In case extension is possible, whether yes, liaison office may, before the expiry of validity period of approval, submit request to authorized dealer category 1, and it may be extended for 3 years from the expiry of the original approval. In case the following conditions are fulfilled, that is, liaison office should have submitted AAC for the previous years, and account of a liaison office to be operated as per the terms and conditions stated in the approval letter, and extension has to be given within a period of 1 month from the date of application of the extension. So it can be extended for 3 years. Then the verdict has to be given within a month from the date of submission of the application, from the extension application. Then RBI, authorized dealer bank, has to inform RBI about the extension, and RBI to publish the same in its website. And in case of no extension is permitted in case of NBFC and construction sector. And liaison office for construction sector, the valid period is only 2 years. No further extension is given for that case. So either they have to close the liaison office or convert the same into joint venture in conformity with the extent of foreign direct investment policy. Now, whether the police registration is a must one? Yes, it is a must one, provided the applicants are from the specified countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Iran, China, Hong Kong, Macau, or Pakistan. So registration with the state police is a must one. And authorized dealer bank has to mark a copy of the approval letter to Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi, for the necessary action and requirement, because they have to forward these things to Ministry of Home Affairs. And the branch office or liaison office has to submit the application for the additional activities. Suppose if they want to carry out any additional activities, that is also permitted. But in case if there is no change in the status, they need not submit any other details. But if it is there, then they have to submit the additional details in FNC form. One branch office or liaison office is allowed to per zone, because there are 4 zones, that is north, east, west, south. For each zone, one office is permitted, and if they want to extend any open any additional office, they have to apply to authorized dealer, and authorized dealer has to get the permission from the RBI. Then only he can, then only the authorized dealer he can give the approval. Then applicant has to identify one office as nodal office, because he has got 4 zones, 4 zonal office. So one office as nodal office. From that, they can coordinate all the activities of its branch in India. And in case if they want to shift the office from one city to another city, prior approval of authorized dealer is required. In case if they shift the office within the city, no permission is required, but this address change has to be informed to authorized dealer. And what are the permitted activities to be carried out by the branch in India? They can permitted activities are export and import of goods, rendering professional or consultancy services, carrying out research work in which the parent company is engaged, promoting technical or financial collaborations between Indian companies and parent company or overseas group companies, representing parent company in India or acting as buying or selling agent in India, rendering services in IT and development software in India. These are the permitted activities they can for the in that branch, that is foreign entity, through its branch office in India, they can do these services, rendering technical services, then representing a foreign airline and shipping company. And now, what is the permitted activities for the liaison office? So they can represent the parent company or group companies. They can promote or export. They can promote, export and import from or to India, and promoting technical or financial collaboration between parent or group companies and companies in India. So activities as a communication channel between the parent company and Indian companies. And now, whether a foreign law firm can open a branch office here? No, it cannot open any liaison office or branch office in India. But if they want to open, they have to register under the Advocates Act. So it is not allowed to even to practice even in non-litigious matters. So when they want to allow practice, they have to register, enroll themselves as advocate under Advocates Act. And if foreign advocates and are not allowed to practice in India, foreign law firms are not allowed to practice in India, but they can come here and they can on a fly, they can come, they can give advice about the foreign laws, they can give advice about the diverse and international legal laws, then they can live. But they are not allowed to practice India because they are allowed only to do the consultancy work. And it is not possible for the foreign law firms to open liaison office, as RBI should not give the permission. It is already stated that RBI will not give any permission to open law office for the foreign law office in India. And if it is already any permission is given, they can hold the office till the validity, and no further extension will be given by the RBI. This is clearly stated in the FEMA. And whether they can remit the profit or surplus, yes, it is permitted, but subject to net of tax. After meeting all expenditure and after paying all the tax, whatever be the profit, you can remit outside, but that is subject to the production of certified copy of audited balance sheet and P&L account for the relevant year. So suppose if they want to transfer that year what is the profit or loss, then CA certificate is required. This is also another professional opportunity available to the chartered accountant. CA certificate certifying the manner of arriving at the remittable profit, or the entire remittable profit has been earned by undertaking the permitted activities, that the profit does not include any profit on revaluation of the assets or the so no revaluation of profit should be carried out. So for that they want a CA certificate specifically. Now winding up. Now they want to wind up the project. Whether they can carry the money outside? Yes, it is possible. And authorized dealer can permit only for the following conditions. That is, project office has to produce a CA certificate that sufficient provisions have been made to meet the liabilities in India, including income tax, etc., and declaration from project office that the remittances will no way affect the completion of the project in India, and that any shortfall of the funds, if there is any shortfall, then the funds can come from outside India to meet that liability in India. And what is the closure procedures? So normal thing, who has given the permission? It is authorized dealer. So you have to apply only to the authorized dealer to close the project office, license office, project office. For that, you have to submit the documents that is established first. Initially, approval has been given, and that approval certificate you have to enclose, and the auditor certificate has to auditor certificate is also to be submitted to indicate the remittable amount supported by asset liabilities and indicating the matter of disposal of how you are going to dispose of assets, that you have to get an auditor certificate and confirm that all liabilities in India, including arrears of gratuity and other benefits, etc., of the office have been either been fully met or adequate provision has been made. And confirm that no income accruing from source outside India has remained unrepatriated to India. And declaration that no legal proceedings in any court is pending. So if there is any case is pending, then this closure proceedings will not be allowed. Then ROC report has to be obtained as per the provisions of Companies Act of 2013 with reference to winding up of branch office or liaison office if it is needed. Then AAC filing is also a must, and authorized dealer bank has to ensure the same. And any other document, if it is required or directed by RBI or authorized dealer bank, then the foreign entity has to submit the same thing towards the closure of branch office, liaison office, or project office. And bank insurance company, they can allow the winding up proceedings because after obtaining permission from the relevant sectoral regulators, they can transfer the money after the closure of the accounts. Now they transfer also. Winding up is over, and now they want to transfer from one entity to another entity. Yes, it is also permitted. And what is the conditions? Intention to close branch office, license office, project office in India, authority may permit the transfer of assets by way of sales to joint venture. They want to close, now they can transfer. And for that, authorized dealer has to give permission. Auditor certificate is also required, reference to date of acquisition, original price, depreciation till date, present book value or WDV, and sale consideration obtained. Auditor to confirm that no revaluation of the assets done after acquisition. Sale consideration should not be more than the book value of each case. That means there should not be any profit. Only to the extent of book value they can transfer the thing. Then assets of branch office, liaison office, project office have been acquired through inward remittances. So whatever be the money they have invested in the branch office, that has to come from the inward remittances from abroad, and intangible assets are not considered. You have to pay all the taxes due, and it has to be ensured by the authorized dealer, because only after the confirmation received from authorized dealer category 1 bank, then only the funds can be, assets can be transferred. Credit made in the accounts is considered as the permissible. Suppose whatever be the credit made in the bank account, that is called as permissible credits. Donation, whether it is a donation, is it possible to NGO and NPO? Donation in the form of not only in cash, so it is in the form of old furniture, vehicle, computers, and other office, etc., are permitted by the authorized dealer after satisfying himself that it's a bona fide transaction. It should not be a bogus transactions. What are the other provisions, other important provisions of branch office, liaison office, project offices? The foreign entity has to come to India and it has to register its name with ROC to start to do the business in India. And they have to obtain a separate PAN for branch office, liaison office, project office in India. And only one bank account is allowed to be opened. And everything is, they want to acquire property, and everything is subject to the rules and regulations of FEMA. Term deposit out of surplus can be made for a period not that is deposit is term deposit is permitted only to the extent of 6 months. That is out of the temporary. The foreign entity has got any temporary surplus, they can make a deposit for a period not exceeding 6 months. And for that also they have to get the permission from the authorized dealer category 1. And branch office started without approval. And in case if any branch office or liaison office which have been started without RBI approval, it can be regularized after informing the authorized dealer, and the authorized dealer in turn they have informed the RBI to get the permission or to get the ratification for the branch office or liaison office which they have started without the approval. And if they want to change the name, yes, it is permitted, but ownership should not be changed. So for that, change of name is also possible, but for that, authorized dealer bank or AD1 category 1 bank permission is approval is required. And in case approval RBI is not required, in case if there is any change in the top management, but authorized dealer must be informed about the, because in case if there is any change in the management, RBI approval is not required, but authorized dealer bank has to be informed by the foreign entity. And audit of accounts of foreign companies shall be conducted by the practicing CA and form of CA. So audit is a must for every foreign entity whenever they open a branch office or license office or project office in India. With this, I am just closing today's presentation. The foreign entity, if they want to open the office, branch office or project office or license office, these are the highlights. These are the important things they have to consider before opening such branch office, license office, project office. Any clarification, you are welcome. Any doubt, you are welcome, and you can make the your doubts to 770-840-4440. With this, I am just concluding my speech on foreign entity to open branch office in India, license office in India, project office in India. Thank you very much for the patient watching of this program. Nandri Vanakkam.